chilling dowry horror from Greater Noida. It has now taken a dramatic turn. The husband, who's accused of burning his wife alive, he was taken into custody. He tried to flee. He was shot at by the police in his legs. The police say that Vipin Bhati, the accused, he tried to escape custody in Greater Noida when he was gunned down in the leg. Meanwhile, questions are mounting on the brutality of the dowry crimes and the police's crackdown. The accused husband, he although remains unrepentant. The family members of the victim, in fact, they are looking for justice. In the meanwhile, the mother-in-law has also been taken into custody. Listen in to some of the reactions.
में शामिल है वो उसी का षड्यंत्र सारा है, उसी को षड्यंत्र है। कोई बच्चे को बचाएगा, बच्चे को समझाना माँ का काम रहता, बाप का काम रहता। उसने और उठा दिए, बच्चे को जमाने की जगह उठा दिया।
आपकी अब क्या मांग है?
हमारे तो ये मांग है, इन दरिंदों को फांसी होनी चाहिए, ये डिमांड है हमारी। इनको साइलेंस कैडी न्यायालय से, कोर्ट से इनके लिए यही एक्शन है कि इनको फांसी होनी चाहिए।
Well, meanwhile, another breaking news that is coming in as far as this particular case is concerned. The deceased mother-in-law, she has now been taken into custody, and Nikki's father, you just heard him react to the second arrest. He says that she is the key conspirator and that he's happy that the mother-in-law has also been taken into custody. The father, in the meanwhile, is demanding maximum punishment. Mr. Bhikari Singh Paila, Nikki's father, he stated after the mother-in-law's arrest, it's good that she has been arrested. She's the main conspirator behind this, and I want the maximum punishment for all. In fact, let's all listen in once again to what the father of Nikki had to say.
षड्यंत्र में शामिल है वो उसी का षड्यंत्र सारा है, उसी को षड्यंत्र है। कोई बच्चे को बचाएगा, बच्चे को समझाना माँ का काम रहता, बाप का काम रहता। उसने और उठा दिए, बच्चे को जमाने की जगह उठा दिया।
आपकी अब क्या मांग है?
हमारे तो ये मांग है, इन दरिंदों को फांसी होनी चाहिए, ये डिमांड है हमारी। इनको साइलेंस कैडी न्यायालय से, कोर्ट से इनके लिए यही एक्शन है कि इनको फांसी होनी चाहिए।
कुछ कहना चाहते हो आप? गलती पछतावा है? गलती का पछतावा है आपको?
मुझे नहीं मैंने मारी है।
हाँ।
ना मैंने कुछ किया है, अपने आप मरी है।
हाँ, अच्छा। और आप पहले भी मारपीट करते थे उससे?
मियाँ बीवी में हर जगह लड़ाई होती रहती है, ये कोई आम बात नहीं है।
अच्छा। और वो अपने आप लगाई?
बस मुझे और कुछ नहीं पता ना।
पछतावा है?
नहीं, हाँ बहुत पछतावा है।
बच्चा
वाइफ चली गई,
बच्चा भी 5 साल का।
हाँ
ठीक है।
अभी साहब ने क्या देखा था बताना बेटा।
मम्मा के ऊपर गाली कूद डाला, फिर मम्मा को चाहता मारा, फिर लाइटर से आग लगा दी थी।
सर, ये जो पुलिस के साथ इनकाउंटर हुआ विपिन भाटी का सिरसा चौक पर, उसके बाद आपकी क्या फीलिंग्स हैं? सुबह को जब आपसे बात हुई थी, आपने कहा था कि आप चाहते हो कि इनकाउंटर हो, और अब जब पुलिस के साथ पैर पर गोली लगी है तो आपकी क्या सोच है?
ऐसा है, पुलिस ने अच्छा काम किया है, उसके लिए धन्यवाद है। लेकिन मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, एनकाउंटर हुआ है ठीक है, लेकिन दोनों पैरों में गोली लगनी चाहिए थी, ताकि उसे पता लगे कि मैं चल कैसे रहा हूँ, चल रहा हूँ या नहीं चल रहा। दोनों पैरों में लगनी चाहिए, एक पैर में लगी है ठीक है, लेकिन दोनों पैरों में लगनी चाहिए। एनकाउंटर और बढ़िया तरीक़ा से होना चाहिए था, और ये हमारी मांग भी है। और जो 3 जो फरार हैं उनको भी एनकाउंटर इस तरीक़ा से होना चाहिए, ताकि उनको पता लगे कि इसकी बहन बेटियों को किस तरीक़ा से जलाया जाता है।
So clearly, emotions are at a high here with respect to family members. This was Nikki's uncle just speaking to us. आप हमें अपना नाम बताओ और आप निकी जी से कैसे पहचान में थे?
ऋषि पाल सिंह मेरा नाम, मैं उनका चाचा लगता हूँ। और जो ये एनकाउंटर हुआ है, इसमें जैसे उन्होंने पैर में गोली मारी, फिर शासन और जो योगी जी की सरकार है वो सीधा एनकाउंटर कर देती है। जैसे और इनका हो रहा, जैसे इसने जितना अत्याचार करा, और आज भी उसके उड़द की सफ़ेदी नहीं है बिल्कुल भी विपिन भाटी के। उनका बोलना है कि मैंने करा ही नहीं है। इतना बड़ा अपराध कर दिया, जला दी उन्होंने लड़की। आप भी उसे देख रहे हो वीडियो, और फिर भी वे मना कर रहा, तो सीधा एनकाउंटर हो जाना चाहिए था।
Meanwhile, my colleague Tanushka Datta, she was earlier in Greater Noida at the spot where this encounter in fact took place. Take a look at this report.
Well, we're currently in Greater Noida area, and this is the area and the spot wherein this encounter happened between the police and Vipin Bhati, the accused in the case. As you can see around me here, this is where Vipin Bhati was shot in the leg while he was trying to escape police custody. We're given to understand that Vipin tried to, wriggle out the pistol from one of the policemen while he was being taken, and he was in police custody, and this is where the police had to open fire onto Vipin Bhati, who's the accused in this alleged dowry death case. And Vipin Bhati was trying to escape the police, wherein the police shot at Vipin Bhati on his leg. So this is the area where this encounter happened between the police and Vipin Bhati. We do understand that Vipin was arrested by the police, and the other three accused in the case being Vipin's brother and Vipin's parents, that is to be the mother-in-law, the father-in-law and the brother-in-law to Nikki. Nikki is the 28-year-old woman who's lost her life after she was burnt alive by her husband after being allegedly tortured for over 9 years of her marriage. She was married to Vipin Bhati for a period of 9 years, and over this period repeatedly, she was harassed. Her parents were also harassed for dowry. At the time of the wedding, the family, Vipin Bhati's family, Vipin himself also asked for a lot in dowry. A Scorpio car was given to them, money was given, jewelry was also given, gold jewelry. However, over the course of 9 years, they kept, repeatedly asking for more in terms of dowry, and her parents and Nikki, of course, were complying, but after a certain point, they were unable to comply, which is when Vipin Bhati decides to set his wife on fire while she's alive, that too in front of their mere 6-year-old boy. The 6-year-old boy witnessed his mother being set on fire right in front of his own eyes, and he's also spoken to NDTV, this little boy who said that he saw his father light his mother on fire. This is the spot wherein Vipin Bhati was being taken by the Noida UP police, and we understand this is where the encounter happened. We're showing you the ground visuals here, and we are also understanding that, earlier after speaking to Nikki's parents in the morning, Nikki's father had asked precisely for this. He said that, the only justice that they want is an encounter to happen, and his wishes have some about come true. Vipin Bhati has been shot in the leg by the police, and after being shot in the leg, after being asked also that what happened, his version, his narrative is that he did not kill Nikki, that this was a suicide on Nikki's part, and that he has, regrets about her dying, but he has no regrets at large at this point. This is what Vipin Bhati said after being shot in the leg by the police at this very spot.
Person of the Uttar Pradesh Women's Commission, Aparna Bisht Yadav, she has now reacted. She says, and I quote, "I assure severe action against this heinous crime where a woman was brutally attacked." The Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, he has issued strict directives for maximum punishment, respecting the victim's father's demand for the death penalty. Listen in.
उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार और महिला आयोग की तरफ से यह पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त करती हूँ कि बहुत ही कड़ी कार्रवाई होगी, और जैसा कि हमने इस केस में भी देखा है कि इस प्रकार का जो भी जघन्य अपराध करेगा तो डेफिनेटली इसमें देखिए न्याय होगा। और आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने इस पे कड़े निर्देश भी दिए गए हैं कि जो व्यक्ति है, जो पकड़ा भी गया है, जो दोषी है, और मैं लड़की के पिता का जो संवेदना है कि उसको डेथ पेनल्टी हो, उसकी मैं रिस्पेक्ट करती हूँ। न्याय के तहत हम इसमें मैक्सिमम क्या कड़ी कार्रवाई कर सकते हैं, ये देखने की आवश्यकता है। बाकी जो है वो व्यक्ति पकड़ा गया है, ये एक बहुत अच्छी बात हुई है।
Joining me on the broadcast is Mr. Vikram Singh, the former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. I also have Abha Singh, advocate and former bureaucrat, women activist. A very warm welcome to the both of you. Mr. Singh, I would like to start with you. I want to focus on that testimony from that 6-year-old kid. He witnessed his mother being burnt alive. Now, apart from all the psychological and the emotional damage that has taken place and something that is going to scar him for the rest of his life, what I want to understand from you is how important is that testimony? Will the police consider it? Can that be used as a testimony? Just break it down for us, sir.
Very much. This is incontrovertible and the testimony of the best quality, and the police would do well to record the statement as per the provisions of the former 164 CRPC, current 264 of the Bharati Nagarik Suraksha Sanghita. There is a system of doing it, there is a procedure of doing it, and I'm sure the police have it in them to record it. What has happened, indeed, as you very rightly mentioned, is a trauma and a scar for the child for a lifetime. But his evidence is so crucial that he is an eyewitness, and I feel that what he will be giving is an independent eyewitness account of the gory incident that had happened. Now to record it and then to produce in the court of law, this would be sufficient evidence to nail the accused, Vipin and his family, because Vipin and his mother are probably the main accused, and those other in the subsidiary may be a part of the larger conspiracy. But the evidence to your first question, that the testimony indeed is one evidence that is a quality evidence, and I would compliment the Noida police for a very thorough investigation and a follow-up. And during the course of arrest, they also took pains to aim appropriately, because he was not shot dead. Had he been shot dead, there would have been so many allegations and counter-allegations against the police. Yeah. But now, this Vipin is alive. He can go, and the brazen manner and the shameless manner in which he is speaking out goes to show that he is a die-hard pervert and a person very greedy of dowry.
Abha Singh, when a child becomes a key witness against his own father, how does and what does the law say about protecting the future and shielding him from further trauma during the trial period? Just give us a sense of that.
This is very important because the child is very traumatized. Since there are, under the Indian Evidence Act, Section 118, and now under the BNS also, there is no minimum age prescribed for testimony of a child. So this child's testimony would hold good. Only thing is, police will have to run certain more things to see whether the child understood the context, whether his mind was such that he could understand what was happening around. So these are the things. I think this would be a very good testimony in court. But what is important is that in India, we don't emphasize much on the witness protection program, So what has happened in dowry death cases, in more of them, more than 80%, the conviction is zero, because somewhere the witnesses disappear, or they are compromised, or, there is a out of court settlement. So this child would require that he does not see his father. In fact, of late in the children's cases and all, it is being tried that the child should not come in front of the abuser or the person who's accused. So in this case, the child needs to be kept away from the father. He should not be brought, because this would re-traumatize him. So I think the Child Commission should also step in and see that this child is well taken care of, because if you see the other sisters also married in this house, and what is going to be the state of marriage of that is also to be kept in mind, because if the other sister continues to live in that house, then this child would be coming in touch. So these are the things which need to be looked into. I think the Child Commission should step in and see that this child is well protected, and witness protection program, as I said, needs to be really particular in this.
Yeah, we'll keep discussing that, but before that, there is another piece of breaking information that is coming, and these are the visuals that we have now accessed of the mother-in-law who has been arrested. Earlier, the accused husband was taken into custody, and like we had mentioned, he was trying to escape. The police, in fact, shot him in the foot, and he was then taken to the hospital. And these are the images, these are the visuals that we can see on our screens of that of the mother-in-law who has now been taken into custody by the Noida police. And Abha Singh, I want to understand from you, can the prosecution press for enhanced charges here because of the extreme cruelty involved in this particular case. Can the prosecution now press, enhanced charges?
No, they cannot.
Okay.
No, because we don't have.
Okay, we'll try and fix that line with Abha Singh. Let me go back to Mr. Singh. Mr. Vikram Singh, this case, it has horrified all of us. It has shaken the conscience of the entire country. But what does it tell you about the state of the persistence of dowry and this evil in our society? We are living in 2025 and we are still witnessing such heinous crimes.
There was a time in the early 70s when said that in the next 25 years, there will be no dowry. But the fact of the matter is dowry has grown in multiple forms, in multiple ways, and devious ways have been devised how to get dowry. And that holds good for government servants also, those qualifying for the civil services also. The dowry has gone from leaps and bounds. And in this case too, there was societal intervention by the Ka Panchayat also, but to no avail. The deceased did die before her time. And what you mentioned is that it is nauseating the frequency with which dowry deaths are happening, the shameless manner in which dowry is being demanded. In this case, first a Scorpio, then a bullet, then jewelry, then cash, and then whatnot, in spite of the fact that the parents did what they could possibly for the darling daughter. But of course, the insatiable hunger and greed for dowry, well, that I think they should have noticed that in the personality DNA of the family, and they should. But where to go? 90% of it has assumed epidemic proportions, and to think that it will go down, it has not gone down.
Yeah, and beyond punishments, do you believe that laws alone can end dowry deaths? Do you feel that, or this is just fundamentally a battle of culture and mindset? How do you look at it, sir?
I think it's a battle of culture and mindset. Law alone will not be able to set things right, but will certainly be able to help us reset the button. Laws, and there should be certainty of punishment, and those demanding dowry should be named and shamed in society. And therefore, I feel that a wake-up call has come to the nation that dowry, say zero tolerance to dowry, the demand, the acceptance, and the giving of dowry.
You spoke about naming and shaming of these dowry offenders. Do you believe that could serve as a deterrent?
Very much. Very much. There was a time 50 years ago when the dowry and the tilak, the eldest man would count the dowry money and then announce, brothers and sisters, the dowry is 50,001 rupees. But today, I think that person would have to commit harakiri if he were to do a thing like that. Today, the naming and shaming, now the tool of the social media, the IT, they all have to be galvanized to naming and shaming the families and the bridegroom who have the audacity to ask and accept dowry.
Right. Abha Singh, what role can the police now play in giving confidence as well as safety to these to the women who suffer abuse? At the same time, they're really scared to speak up. They're really scared to come out and say, this is what is happening to me. What do you think the police, the administration, people who are in power can do to help these people?
Exactly, if this family gave the top-end SUV, at that time it's 9 years, why these people were not shamed, why these issues didn't come up, why no FIR was registered, because one could see that the girl had got a car with her. So when you have a law which says giving and taking dowry is an offense, then why this thing was not flagged earlier? That is one issue. Second is, if you see, charge sheet filing in such cases takes a lot of time. You can see the husband already is trying to play up and say that is a suicide. So a lot of times they will try to see to it that this murder becomes suicide. So it's very important for the police to do its paperwork perfect, file the charge sheet, record all evidences before the magistrate, and try to put it in a fast-track court so that it comes in a very fast manner. And secondly, these women commissions and all, let them have awareness that giving and taking dowry is an offense. And even on social media, people are putting these destination weddings and swanky cars. Why Income Tax Department, why police does not go and write a suo moto FIR in dowry case?
Yeah, and Nikki's death is not just a case file, Abha Singh, it's a brutal reminder of how this evil of dowry continues to destroy the lives of many in modern India, and justice in court also is essential. But unless society itself changes, the real change will not, we'll keep losing people like Nikki to such evil. Thank you very much for being a part of this discussion. Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.